What up, everybody? Welcome back to Nashville Unsigned. We are hanging out in Nashville at Summer NAMM 2019. We ran into the bosses in the amplification game, Marshall Amps, hanging out with Steve. Pretty sure we interviewed you last year, but now you guys are highlighting some product you launched in January. So take us through some Marshall products.
Okay, we've launched the Marshall Studio series, and what that is, it's basically taking some of our existing amplifiers, you know, the most iconic ones we've done, like the 1959 SLP, the JCM 800s, and we've made them in a more compact, smaller, lower wattage amplifier, because even though those amps are great, they're super loud, and a lot of venues are getting smaller and have noise restrictions, that kind of thing, so we want to give people that classic rock tone, but without making your eardrums hurt, basically. So
very cool, and that's this right here, right?
This and this one here. So this is the Studio Classic, based on the JCM 800, all the same features as the 100-watt version, but it's 20 watts, or you can even drop it down to 5 watts using the switch on the front panel. This is the combo version with a single 10-inch speaker. If you want, you can get the head version of this with a 212 upright cabinet, or if you don't want anything that big, you can get a single 12 version of this cab as well. This amp was kind of the sound of 80s rock. This is when these came out originally, but still to this day, even the newer, more modern bands still gravitate to this amp because it just sounds great. And then this one, the Studio Vintage. Again, we've got the head version or the combo version. Same idea, single 10-inch speaker in the combo, or you get the head with a 212 or a single 12. This is a bit of a different animal. This was more of a 60s style amp, so if you think of like Hendrix or those kind of guys, they were using these. These are non-master volume amps, which means if you want them to sound awesome, you have to turn them up really loud. So again, the 20-watt version of this is kind of much better for today's needs. So yeah, that's.
And in Nashville, we are battling this noise ordinance and restraint issues. We're like, come on now, it's Music City. Like, you move into it, you know what you're walking into, but it is something legally that we have to adjust to, and our audience does. So that's how all of Marshall's new products could work in that type of world, in today's world.
Yes, yeah, that's it. I mean, historically, like when Jim Marshall started the company, all he did was listen to what guitar players wanted. Back then, they wanted loud because, PA systems weren't that great. So, if you wanted the audience to hear you, your amplifier had to do it all on its own. But now it's kind of the opposite. We still get the guys who want the big stuff, but those are the guys who are playing arenas. Or they've got a house so big that the neighbours don't really hear it anyway.
A soundproof house.
That's it. But for everyone else, normal people like me, this kind of thing works out because you can still get that tone. It's a smaller footprint as well, so if you're on a smaller stage, you don't have to fall over the back of your amp or anything like that. So yeah.
Awesome. So I know our audience know where to find Marshall everything, but drop us your website and social links again.
Yeah, it's marshall.com, and that's kind of throughout all the brands we do. So we've also got Natal drums, all that kind of thing. It's the same. It's all marshall.com. So for the Facebook, if you just search for Marshall amps, are at the top of everything anyway. So we're not hard to find.
They're not very hard, and Google has a lot of answers to a lot of your questions. Steve, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for taking some time to answer some questions with us. You guys are always killing the game, always on the forefront, so thank you again.
Thank you.
We are out of here.